Okay, welcome to the 21-day cleanse. I'm going to go through in this video over the next 45 minutes, half an hour, might even be less with any luck depending on how much I talk. I'm going to go through the detail of the cleanse, the benefits and why we're doing it. But before I start, what I want to do is share with you just a couple of testimonial videos of people that have done this over the last year or so, and just to show you the sort of results that are possible. Okay.
Hi, my name's Alex and I've just finished the 21-day cleanse and I've lost 15.6 pounds and 30 inches and I feel really good.
I've just finished the cleanse for the 21 days. I've lost 13.5 pounds and 21 inches off my body and I feel absolutely fantastic.
Hey, it's Janet Whittle. I've just finished the 21-day cleanse. It's been amazing. I've lost 27.5 inches and 18 pounds in weight, which I'm really pleased about, and I feel amazing.
Hi, I'm Jessica Morad and I have just finished the 21-day cleanse. Before I started, I've been eating well, training well, but really hadn't been dropping the weight. And in just 3 weeks, I have managed to eat easily, stick to the plan, and dropped just over 8 kilograms, 8.1 kilograms in 3 weeks, and a total of 38.5 inches from across my body. I mean, the results are outstanding, and honestly, it was really pretty easy to stick to. It's something I'm going to be carrying on from now and including my training plan.
So look, they go on, all right? There's plenty of them, all right? Plenty of testimonials showing the same thing. There are three factors here, or three things that we're seeing that as results from this cleanse. Number one is weight loss. That weight loss is averaging around 16, 17 pounds over 3 weeks. And that's around, I think about 7 kilos, 7, 8 kilos, something like that. And then it's the inch loss, so around the waist, around the arms, the chest, the legs, all the areas where, especially around the belly, where we've got that stubborn fat and that belly fat, for example, and back fat, and around the arms at the top, the bingo wings, things like that. And those are essentially being, the weight's just coming off, it's melting through that weight. That's the plan. So they're losing those inches. But you know, the thing for me, which is most exciting about it, and obviously you'll decide for you the reason, and really, you know, all three are really good reasons to really get stuck into this. But for me, the reason it's so exciting is the energizing, because what we're going to do is not only start taking out from our body any extra chemicals and toxins. This is the bottom line. We're going to be taking them out through our food that we're eating. So we're going to start cutting out, eliminating those foods that are causing those problems. And as well as that, we're going to take supplements, proven, tried, tested supplements, which are going to rid our body of those toxins. And then following the 21-day cleanse, we have a 12-week fat loss maintenance program that follows it to ensure that you're not bouncing straight back to where you were. On a day-to-day basis, we have a toxin overload in our body. And I just want to start with the toxin side of things, okay? And how we've got to imagine it is that within our body, there's, I don't know, for argument's sake, 1 million toxins. I'm just going to use that round number. Now, we can reduce the toxins running around our body. Now, they come into our body through things like processed foods, pesticides on fruit, for example, shampoo, makeup, hair conditioner, alcohol, all the stuff that we do to our bodies on a day-to-day basis, our bodies weren't built for it. That's the bottom line. In this day and age now, car pollution, there's just a million, air pollution. There are a million things that put those toxins in our body. So we can't completely eradicate them because, you know, unless we're going to live, you know, somewhere far, far away, you know, on our own, where we're not open to any elements, and we're still going to have them because they're still overhead from aeroplanes and so on. We're never going to rid ourselves of them completely, but what we can do to start with is clear our body of the majority of them that we have in there now. So what we're doing here is, number one, we're going to focus on our eating to ensure that we're probably, halving the amount of toxins in our body over 21 days and flushing those out, but also by taking these supplements as well, which will eradicate and bring us down pretty much to as close to zero as we can, to make us feel amazing, fresh, energized. And the aim here, let's be honest, is it sort of knocks 10 years off our life. We will start feeling like we haven't done for years. And that's what is most exciting about this. All right. So what we've got to imagine, and this is why sometimes weight sticks a bit. If your thing is losing weight, we will have those million toxins around our body, for argument's sake. And if we are then losing weight and we're taking the pounds off, those toxins will stay there. Now, they kind of embed themselves within the body fat, generally all around the body, but they will embed themselves in the body fat. And what will happen as we lose the weight and we lose fat, the toxins are still there. But the body doesn't want those toxins to attach to our organs, so it will try and keep the fat on us. All right, so this is another reason that we tend to, that weight loss can sometimes stick, because our body's holding on to the weight. It's not just holding on to the weight because it's worried about starvation, but it's worried about those toxins spreading to our organs. So, we're talking about heart, liver, lungs, through the urinal tract, through the bowel, and the colon. All these areas, it's trying to keep those toxins away from by latching onto the fat. Okay, so we've established why we're doing this from a toxins point of view. Now I want to talk about the elimination foods. So the way it's going to work is as follows. Your day will look a bit, in fact, I'm going to start on how your day is going to look, all right? And I've actually written it out here, so I've got it sus. The first thing we'll need to do, in order to clear our body of those toxins, which is the aim here, okay, we're going to have to make some changes, obviously, all right? So what you have signed up to, or what potentially you're going to sign up to, is 21 days of quite some extreme change, but not really. We're not talking about, living on only water for 3 days or any of that type of fasting idea, but we are going to intermittent fast. So here's how it's going to work. In the morning, you'll wake up, and then at some point you'll break your fast. Now that fast needs to happen in order for your digestive system to settle and allow those toxins to clear through your body. Okay, so once you've eaten your last meal of the day, we need 16 hours for your body to absorb, to work and process that food through. And there's a reason why we've got certain elimination foods that we'll talk about in a minute, because some of those foods we're eating are too difficult to digest, and that's what's causing more trouble inside. Okay, so we'll get onto that in a moment. But here's how your day is going to look. You can break your fast when you choose, but you will only have 8 hours to eat. So how I'm going to with you. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to, the most likely scenario, and to be honest, if it shifts an hour, one way or the other, it's not the end of the world. But for me, it's probably going to be 11 o'clock. I'll break my fast. I'll have some lunch at 3 o'clock, and I'll have my evening meal at 7, and then I won't eat anything after that. You could do 12 till 8, you can do, I don't know, however your calendar works, right? You could do, if you do 9 till 5, for example, that's fine. It just means if you're going to bed at 10:30, you're going to have a long time in the evening where you're going to potentially snack. The thing is with this is, I'll talk about that in a minute, the food, how we eat and so on. I'll just keep this simple now. Here's how your day is going to work. You'll break your fast. You'll then have 4 hours and then 4 hours, and you have those meals, and then that will be it. There's the fast side. At the end, you also, it will be on here through this program, and I'm just going to give you a little snapshot at this point. When you are on the program, you will have access to this part of the hub, which has everything here. So, and even, as you go through this, You know, there's daily practices, meal plan, shopping list, that's recipes, what foods to avoid, elimination protocols. But there will be here as well, literally day 1, day 2, day 3. You don't have to miss a beat. I mean, it's all there. It's all in black and white. Every single day, you'll know exactly what to do. But funnily enough, every day is going to be the same as the day before. All right. And this is how you got to live for 21 days. No food till 11, 12 o'clock, whatever you choose. All right. You'll then go about your normal day. You'll have to plan and prep your food. That's really vital. And tips and other things are all here within the hub as well. It's all designed and created for you to make it as easy as possible. Okay. So you'll really need to, you know, there's even meal plans in there. So literally you just, I've got a shopping list for you. You go out and buy it. And then you make the food and you make it in the evening and prepare enough for the next day's lunch, take it with you, a couple of ice packs, whatever. So you absolutely stick to it. All right. So that's the eating side. And I'll go into that a little bit more. In the evening, we want to start taking a 5-minute, we want to build ourselves up to a 5-minute cold shower. We want to also exfoliate because as those toxins come out of our body, we want to exfoliate to get rid of them from the skin. And then we want you to get to bed, you know, no devices an hour before bed. So phones off or away. We're just talking about absolutely, it's 21 days, that's it. But we want to set up those habits. No coincidence. This is a 21-day program and it takes 21 days to form a new habit. All right, so this is vital. And then about 10 o'clock, maybe 9:30, whenever you go to bed, we're going to build up to a cold shower, which helps boost that immune system, and then get yourself into a nice warm bed and sleep. Okay, have a read, go to sleep, whatever. And that's basically a daily practice. There's also exercise you have to do because funnily enough, the toxins tend to come out around the glutes and the hamstrings. So we got some exercises within here, some daily little moves, glute bridge raises and other bits and pieces that you're going to do just to open up, almost like open the gateway for those toxins to be released. All right. So that will be included in your day as well. But other than that, your day is normal. You're not going to be starving. You know, we're literally just going to do an 8-hour window of food. Some of you already do intermittent fasting, and it works really well. And it can be a lifelong change or just this period. It doesn't matter, but it gives that body time to release those toxins and flow through and reset essentially, you know, the colon, digestive system, everything else, the stomach, gives it time to process. All right. So that's kind of how your day will look. Now, let's talk about those elimination foods. And I'm going to share this with you. And we won't take too long really now, whilst I show you these bits and pieces. So going into the program, so we've got elimination protocols. Now these, and I'm going to go through these and explain why. And some of it should be pretty obvious. All right. Elimination rules. All right. Let's keep it really simple. And bear with me because I am currently recording this in a tiny village in Germany, where the internet's not great. So here we are, as if by magic. Here's the elimination rules. Now, these are the things that you must eliminate, and I'll explain why in each case. Wheat and gluten. Okay, now personally, I can't eat wheat and gluten because I'm intolerant. I'm not allergic, but I'm intolerant to it. Did you know 60 to 70% of the Western world's population is in some way allergic to wheat and gluten, right? So, you know, when you feel bloated, when you feel, a bit windy, when things aren't quite working down there as they should, so much of it is wheat and gluten related. So what we're going to do here, we're going to eliminate all these foods to give your body the best chance to rid itself of all those toxins and lose the weight. Okay. Dairy, again, quite a high percentage of people have some intolerances around dairy. A lot of it is the way it's produced. Bear in mind that pasteurization process is all machinery and chemicals used and so on and so forth. I think if you go out and milk a cow and drink a glass of it, you'll probably be all right. But it's the processes that are involved, and that's what we're going to eliminate. Okay, so dairy, except eggs. All right, the egg comes out of the chicken. and the inside bit is essentially untouched. So that's why we can eat eggs. Alcohol, that's obvious. Alcohol, what it does, it puts the body under pressure. It poisons the liver, and gets more. It's basically, sadly, because it feels great, but sadly, what it's doing is just putting toxins around your body. I like to have a drink. Those of you that are currently on this know, I make no bones about it. I do enjoy a beer or two, especially when I go to the football and so on. But I'm going to have to stop that. That's the way it is, all right? And it's a decision that we have to make. If we're going to do this, we've got to stop it. So if you're used to having a glass of wine with dinner, you're going to have to change that for water, all right? Simple as that. And for 21 days, and then you never know. 21 days of forming a habit, you might just want to carry on afterwards. Sugar, that's an obvious one, raises the insulin levels. It's no good for our body, and we need to take it out as one of the elimination foods here. Okay, so sugar is an absolute no. Oh, by the way, if you get into day 10 and you're like, I'm going to have a chocolate bar, you're going back to day 1. So the idea, this is a 21-day process, all right? So that's how long you've got to do it for. And as you go through the process, not like day 1, you feel awful, day 21, you feel fantastic. It's day 1, you feel, like you do now. Day 5, you're going to start feeling better, day 6, 7. As the weeks progress, you'll feel better and better and better, okay? And that will be due to reducing your body of these toxins and eliminating these foods that are causing your body extra strife, okay? Sugar, no sugar for 21 days, absolute no. Processed foods, I'll give you an example. So sometimes I might, if I'm in a hurry, I might just buy some cooked meat from, supermarket shelf. And I had a look the other day at this chicken breast that looked like chicken breast, tasted like chicken breast. I looked at the ingredients, and it was, like in a packet, that you pull the top off and you get a chicken breast out. Chicken breast was the main ingredient, but following that was sugar, citric acid, and some other preservatives. Now, anything you can stick in a fridge and, has a shelf life of 5 or 6 days, you kind of have to consider that there might be some additives to it. So processed foods are out. Fruit, for example, if you left an apricot, for argument's sake, in your fruit bowl for 2 weeks, or no, all right, let's exaggerate, 6 weeks, how would that apricot look after 6 weeks? It would probably just be a stone left. If you open a packet of dried apricots and leave them out for 6 weeks, in 6 weeks' time, you'll be able to eat those apricots in the same way. So something like dried fruit, you're like, it's all right, it's fruit. No, have a look at the ingredients and you'll see the preservatives. So essentially, anything in a packet, you want to try and move away from. The other thing as well is try it. Look, you know what? You can't. You can do as much as you can. Some things are impossible, all right? Now, all of this is possible, but let's not be too hard on ourselves, all right? So I would stay clear of anything that's not organic. Ideally, if you're going to really go for this for 21 days, you want to aim to have only organic products. And the reason for that is they feed, for example, they feed the chickens certain chemicals in their feed and so on and so forth. Then they preserve the meat with certain chemicals and so on. Apples but any fruit and veg that's not organic, it's covered in pesticides. The minimum I would do is make sure you wash everything. Look, if you're going to boil broccoli in a pan of water, you don't have to wash that first, all right? But obviously, if you're going to eat an apple, take an apple out the packet and it's not organic, please put it under the water first. Get rid of any of the pesticides that are outside on it and eat it from there. So I'm just, it's just some sort of some intelligent thinking, really, some logical thinking as we go through this. Red meat is out simply because the amount of time it takes to get through that digestive tract into the stomach and be processed, we want to give the stomach and the body the best chance it can to work through that stuff. So red meat is out, much to my disappointment, and caffeine is out because what it does, it promotes that stress hormone in your body. It's a big promoter of cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and we want to. There's 70 odd hormones in your body, and what we're trying to do with this diet and with the supplements is really to level out all those hormones. One of them being cortisol, which is really prompted by caffeine, and caffeine is a no, and that's not just coffee. That's tea. And also, by the way, I'll go on to this, tea, diet drinks, well, any of those, any fizzy drinks, a lot of them, they've all got caffeine in, even if it's caffeine free. Remember, it's that process, it's processed. You can't get a Diet Coke caffeine free that hasn't been processed, so it's a no. So as far as drinks go, it's water. All right, if you can do hot water and grab a handful of fresh mint and put that in. But if as soon as you go to tea bags, they've been processed, freeze-dried and processed, and you're still putting processed stuff in you. Everything that is processed, you've got to imagine you're feeding your body toxins. And if we're going through such an effort to get the toxins out of our body, for God's sake, don't put them back in your body. All right. I'm sure that makes sense. So it's 21 days only. All right. No caffeine. All right. Low fat products, again, extra process goes into it. Reduce that. Salt, dehydrant. All right. You've got to take salt out the diet. It's going to be boring. It's going to be plain, but you can use lemon juice and other bits and pieces and flavors like dried spices and things, within reason, just to add a bit of flavor. But salt and salty foods are out, I'm afraid. Okay. The carbs will come, and we'll go through that in a minute. The carbs will come from vegetables and fruit and so on. And anything processed. So, to say, for example, I'll have gluten-free pasta. Well, no, because to make that pasta, it will have to go through a process. It's then preserved because, it's in a packet, preservatives and all that. So it's going to be quite plain and quite boring. I want to talk about water. Let me take you off there. The share. Up to now, we've been used to drinking a minimum of 2.5 litres of water. Okay. That's nearly out. Here, the aim, remember why we're doing this, to flush those toxins out of the body. It's vital we do so. So we need to up our water every day, 21 days, without fail, 4 litres. 4 litres of water. To start with, it will be difficult, then your body will get used to it. So what if you're weeing more than anything? You're flushing the toxins out your body, all right? And you're helping, because we're restricting our diet, our body is used to a certain way of eating, and then our bowel movements are, used to that pattern. We're interrupting that pattern. Therefore, we need to give ourselves more water to ensure we don't get constipated as well, all right? So 4 litres. For God's sake, don't get to 6 in the evening or 7 in the evening, go, oh my God, I've only had a litre of water today, and down 3 litres, you'll be up all night. Even if every 10 minutes you have a sip of water, you'll get through 4 litres a day. Start early, Now, my top tip, as you know, would always be have my coffee there in the cafetiere waiting until I've drunk one of these of water. I won't allow myself to have my coffee. The coffee is a reward. I've got no reward now. But the idea here is, believe it or not, instead of a coffee, cup of tea in the morning when we're parched and we're like, oh, I could just do with a coffee, wake me up. We do not have I've said this before, we do not have a caffeine deficiency. When we wake up, we've gone through the night basically without water. We're dehydrated. The moment you drink the equivalent of, 3/4 of a litre or so of water, and more if you can, in the morning, you're hydrating your body and you're waking up. It's the water that is waking you up. The caffeine helps, but all it's doing is dehydrating you. All right. So those are the elimination foods. Now, I'm going to go through the what we are eating. All right. And after that, it won't take long to go through the rest of the detail. Okay. All the detail is here within the hub for you to see. All right. And now I'm going to just focus on, so we've got elimination rules for vegetarians, same thing. All right. Sorry, I shouldn't have done, didn't need to do that. And the elimination plan and the elimination plan for vegetarians. So all the detail is here, is pretty much what I've just gone over. It should be quite simple. And, you know, I think just hearing what I've just said is probably, you know, you could probably, you know, suck it and see for yourself. All right. But this just goes into a nice bit of detail. Plan, shop, prepare. That's vital. All right. And it just gives you, it's just step by step, little plans. You might not need it, but, you know, it's really vital that you get this right and that you plan, shop, prepare, plan, shop, prepare, and just make sure that everything is ready. Okay. So what foods to eat? That's what we want to know, isn't it? God help us. Right. There is vegetarian and there's not. I'm going to go with the, it's there. If you're a vegetarian, it's there for you. All right. But I'm just going to go with the non-vegetarian option for now to run through this as quickly as I can. Because I do have a habit of making these things longer than they need to be. All right. So 21-day cleanse. Here's what to eat. This is what you want to know. Lean meats and protein. Have a look at the vegetarian one for the option there. Fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds. Just want to talk about nuts for a minute. Nuts have, for one, and we know about calories, right? So for 1 gram of chicken breast, for example, is about 1 calorie, right? You got 100 grams per 100 calories per 100 grams. Type of thing might be 120 calories, but there or thereabouts. 1 gram of nuts has 9 calories. So because of the fat content, it's good fats. We want to eat them. They're good for us. But, you know, if you're having, say, Brazil nuts, 6 is like the maximum. Okay. Otherwise, we're just going to, you know, people say, yeah, no, I don't eat any sweets. I just eat nuts. You know, I've got a bag of cashews I have every night. Great. That's 1,200 calories or whatever. So just be aware, nuts and seeds, don't use them willy-nilly. If you're hungry, you need a little handful of nuts. That will, but the protein and the fat will take the edge off. Give it, you know, a few minutes afterwards to make sure that it does, but it will. All right. Oils, obviously, what we're talking about there is a list of oils, mainly olive oil, I would suggest here, or obviously oils from fish. All right. Lean meats and protein here. Great. Now, just a quickie here. Something like mackerel. I like smoked mackerel, but smoked mackerel, unless you buy it and smoke it yourself, it's gone through a process. So it's something you have to steer clear of. As well, when you buy smoked mackerel in a shop, have a look at the ingredients, sugar, citric acid, and other stuff like that. So you got to, you know, really consider what you're eating. If you haven't bought it from, you know, the equivalent of the fishmonger, I guess. So in the supermarket, you know, fishmonger. In this, or the deli at the supermarket, or you will find, you know, packed fish. It's not, just double check those ingredients. It's going to be a bit arduous, bit of work for you, but hey, we're going to lose a minimum of 1 stone over the 21 days and we're going to feel fantastic. So who cares, right? I can do that for 21 days. If I can do it, believe me, you can do it. All right. Especially with my bad habits every now and again. So, all right, then we go into vegetables. Again, there'll be more detail on that, but vegetables, fine. Just, you know, fill your plate with veg. Nuts and seeds, oils, dried spices. Okay. Bit of a contradiction here because obviously they have been through a process, but the amount of dried spices you'll be using is so minute, you know, that your body will absorb that very quickly. All right. Fresh herbs and spices, absolutely. And 8 other. So just to run through this, lean meats and protein, literally there is a list. Okay, you can work your way through that. Fruits, vegetables, all except starchy potatoes. Remember, peas and green beans are legumes, so you can't eat them. All right, so just go with whatever it says on the list. Do not go outside what's on the list. All right. Whatever's on the list, go with it. If it's not on the list, don't eat it. Olive oil, avocado oil, walnut oil, flaxseed oil, coconut oil, no other oils. All right. Oh, I've only got this vegetable oil. I'll use that for cooking. No, you won't, because the moment you put that in your cooking, you're back to day one tomorrow. All right. And then you've got another total of 21 days to do. Don't make that mistake. So follow the plan. All right. It's all here for you. It's really easy to follow, and just keep it simple. Okay. So there's your what foods to eat. We'll just go back here, back a step. So the elimination food, what foods to eat, what foods to avoid. Well, that's pretty clear from the beginning. Yeah. And it will tell you here what foods to avoid. Literally get a list here of more detail, and you'll have the hub. You'll have time to go through it. You can sit there, do your research, make your notes, print things off, try and save the trees, please. But yes, it is all there for you. Okay. Tells you here what to avoid: dairy food, cereal grain-like seed, legumes, starchy vegetables, salt-containing foods, fatty meats, drinks, sweets. All right. And literally, you know, all processed foods made with any dairy products, and so on and so forth. I mean, basically everything that I've said so far, it all looks too good, doesn't it? Just keep it really, really simple. All right. Really simple. Just accept 21 days is going to be a bit boring, but you know, when I speak to people and ask them what they have for breakfast, invariably they tell me the same thing. Yeah, you normally have crunchy nut cornflakes and a cup of tea. Normally, yeah, Monday to Friday. Sometimes I might have toast at the weekend, right? We can deal with the same thing every day. The variety itself is just because we find it a bit boring. But again, I'll ask a question. Want to lose a stone and a half in 3 weeks and feel fantastic? Yes. All right, then live with a bit of boredom for 3 weeks. That's my answer to it. Okay. And I think that is the way you've got to see it. You've got to see it as a means to an end. All right. We even go into, and I'll let you explore this yourself, meal plans and shopping lists, extra recipes. I will just show you this actually. Meal plans and shopping lists. I'm going to pick the vegetarian one this time. So we'll have a look at meal plans and shopping lists. Now, the choice is yours. You can literally stick to a day-by-day meal plan. So what we've created here is a plan, day 1 to 7. Here we go. Bear with us. It might take a little bit of, be a bit sticky. So let's go to this page here. Here's your shopping list, right? You can take that to Aldi, Tesco, Sainsbury's, and do your shopping with it. Day 1, here's your breakfast, here's your lunch, here's your dinner. Day 2, all right? It tells you 8 a.m., 12 noon, 4 o'clock, but I would definitely shift that unless you're going to bed at 5. Yeah, so you decide when to do it. Just break them 4 hours apart, okay? Day 3. All right, I labor the point, but to give you an example, we go through day by day, but it goes up day 8 to 14, and then we go back to day 1 after this cheat day. Now, we can have a cheat day, eat and drink. This is day 15, okay? Eat and drink whatever you want from the elimination plan. This must only be 1 meal, not 3 course. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Try to eat protein as part of the meal. This will help prevent you from having severe sugar spike. Remember, enjoy. So look, there is an option here to have this cheat day, which you should take advantage of. The body is quite forgiving, but you need to get those 14 days under your belt first. And you are entitled to that cheat day, but you go straight back onto the process the next day. Then you go back to day 1 and just finish those 21 days. All right. So that gives you pretty much all of it. Last thing I'm going to show you is the daily practices. Here we are. Okay. So I'm just going to hit the non-vegetarian for now. Here's your daily practices. Okay, so bear with us. Here we are. So the menus, the exercises are here for you. All right. Okay. The hip flexor inhibitor, the hip bridge, and the squat to stand. These are the exercises you'll need to do every day to essentially open the pathway for the toxins to come out through the glutes and hamstrings, which is where they tend to want to come out from. All right. And then you can download here your daily practices, and it will literally prompt you and tell you exactly what you need to do. All right. Okay. And you work your way through it. Fresh water, exercise, cold bath, shower before bed, exfoliate, go to bed before 10:30, take all the daily supplements, make sure you're prepared for the nutrition plan. One thing actually that reminds me, just to show you where to find it, it's all here, these supplements, okay? And actually, I think, oh my gosh, there's some, okay, here they are. So we use a company called Nutria. You can look them up. And this is the bundle that you're essentially buying into, okay? We've got the Peruvian maca root, 120-day capsules, 1 a day, okay? So these will last you through basically for 120 days. So for the first 21 days and pretty much the 90 days after. And just to give you the bullet points here, it contains decent amounts of calcium and iodine, as well as amino acids, vitamins and minerals, and it's from the maca root, which is a great source of protein as well, and fiber. And then we've got the psyllium husk, and this one is to help your low-carb diet, 70% soluble fiber, just to help everything flow through, gets rid of, supports the immune system. And it says here, maybe you support a healthy weight loss program. So it's basically it's for the whole digestive system, okay? Healthy bowels and so on and so forth. All right, and then we've got the probiotic for the belly, for the stomach, and you know, one thing I haven't mentioned actually, and just seeing it here, use of antibiotics. So those are the 3 supplements you can have. I've come off the share. Anyone that's on or has been on, you know, whether it's antidepressants, antibiotics, anti-anything, you know, thyroid, thyroxine, levothyroxine, any of this stuff as well, or any long-term medication for whatever. It's literally, it is helping us to cure an ill, but it's pushing extra toxins into our body. All right. So it's, you know, those that have been on medication for many years, there's nothing better than detoxing your body. You'll still need to take your medication, but what you'll be doing is holding on to the good stuff from that medication and clearing out the toxins that come with it during that period of time. You may find that let's say, for example, we can't get to 0 toxins, but let's say we go from 1 million to 10,000, all right? For example, I'm just throwing numbers up. If you're on daily medication, your toxins may go up to 20,000, right? But 20,000 is better than 1 million, right? So by doing this, following this process, we are absolutely clearing the body of toxins. That's what's making us feel, that's what will make us feel better, more energized. Those toxins are putting pressure on our body, on our organs. It's helping our body hold on to the fat. And this is why this process works so well. So I am really excited for those that are on board, and I'm really excited for those that are really considering getting on board. Yeah, good luck with the cleanse, and let's hope some massive results.